Have you ever stayed alone, in someone else's house? Not your house. Not your rules. Not your memories. Just you, and a place that still feels like it belongs to someone else. Tonight, you will hear 5 true creepy stories from people who thought house sitting would be easy money. Until they heard footsteps in empty rooms, saw lights turning on by themselves, and received messages from someone who was not supposed to be there. One of these stories ended with police. One ended with a secret room. And one still has no explanation. So turn off the lights. Put on your headphones. And listen carefully. Because after this video, you may never feel safe staying alone again. And before we go any further, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, and tell us in the comments which country you're watching from. We love seeing how far these stories travel around the world. Now, let's begin. This story was told to me by a man named Daniel Harper. He told me this story almost 12 years ago. At that time, he was 31 years old. Now he is married and has 2 kids. He does not like to talk about this night anymore. But he said I can share it. This happened when he was 24. Daniel was not rich. He was doing small jobs. One day his friend told him about house-sitting job. The house was big. Very big. It was outside the city. Quiet area. No close neighbors. Just trees. Long road. And silence. The owners were an old couple. Mr. and Mrs. Whitmore. They were going to Europe for 3 weeks. Daniel's job was simple. Stay in house. Water plants. Feed their old dog named Bruno. And make sure no one breaks inside. They were paying good money. Too good. Daniel said first small strange feeling came when Mrs. Whitmore said one thing before leaving. She smiled, but her smile looked forced. She said, "Please don't go inside the storage room in the hallway. It is locked. And it should stay locked." Daniel laughed and said okay. He did not care. Big house. Big TV. Free food. Easy money. What can go wrong? First day was normal. He explored house. Kitchen was modern. Living room had big windows. Upstairs 3 bedrooms. 1 master bedroom. 1 guest room. And 1 small office. The hallway was long. At the end of hallway there was 1 white door. That must be storage room. There was lock on it. Daniel did not try to open. He respected rule. First night came. Around 11:30 p.m. he went to sleep in guest bedroom. The house was very quiet. Too quiet. He said when you stay in your own house, silence feels normal. But when you stay in someone else's house, silence feels different. Like house is listening. He tried to sleep. At maybe 1:47 a.m. he heard a sound. Small. Very small. Like something, tapping. He opened eyes. He stayed still. He listened. Tap. 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 He thought maybe tree branch hitting window. He got up. Looked outside window. No trees close to window. Wind was not strong. He went back to bed. Told himself, relax. Old house makes sounds. He closed eyes again. Then he heard something worse. Footsteps. Slow footsteps. From hallway. He froze. His heart started beating fast. He told himself maybe dog. But Bruno was old. Very old. And Bruno was sleeping downstairs in kitchen. These footsteps were upstairs. In hallway. Right outside his door. Step. 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 And then they stopped. Right at his door. He was looking at door. Door handle did not move. But he felt like someone was standing there. Just outside. Listening. He did not move for maybe 2 minutes. Then slowly, very slowly. He heard footsteps again. Walking away. Toward end of hallway. Toward white locked door. And then. Silence. Complete silence. Daniel did not sleep whole night. Next morning he checked whole house. No broken windows. No open doors. Nothing missing. Dog was normal. Everything looked fine. He almost convinced himself it was dream. But that night. Something else happened. Around 2:10 a.m. He was awake this time. He did not sleep. He was waiting. And yes. Again. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Walking in hallway. This time he opened his door fast. Hallway was empty. But one thing was different. The white storage door at end of hallway was slightly open. Just little. Maybe 2 inches. Daniel said he was 100% sure it was locked before. He walked slowly toward it. His legs felt weak. He pushed door open more. It made slow creaking sound. Inside was dark. Very dark. He turned on hallway light. But there was no light switch inside storage room. He used his phone flashlight. Inside room was almost empty. Just some old boxes. And one wooden chair. In middle of room. Facing wall. That was strange. Why chair facing wall? He stepped inside. Floor was cold. He looked around. Nothing special. But then he noticed something on wall. Scratches. Many scratches. On paint. Like someone dragged nails on wall again and again. He felt cold air behind him. Suddenly. Door slammed shut. He screamed. He ran to door. It was locked from outside. He tried to open. It would not move. He started shouting. But no one was there. No neighbors close. Phone had no signal inside that room. He started panicking. He kicked door. He hit door. Nothing. Then. He heard breathing. Behind him. Very close. Slow breathing. Like someone tired. He turned slowly. Flashlight shaking in his hand. Chair was not facing wall anymore. It was facing him. He dropped phone. Flashlight moved on floor. Light stopped at wall. And on wall he saw something written. In deep scratches. Words. 3 words. Stay out Daniel. His name. His real name. He never told owners full name. Just Daniel. How did they know his last name? How it was on wall. Breathing sound got louder. He felt something touch his shoulder. Cold hand. Very cold. He blacked out. Next thing he remembers. He was lying in hallway. Outside storage room. Door closed. Locked. Morning light coming from window. He ran downstairs. Packed his bag. Called Mr. Whitmore. Phone was off. He called police. Police came. They checked house. Storage room was empty. No chair inside. No scratches on wall. Nothing written. They thought maybe he was drunk. Maybe imagination. But one officer asked him. How do you know what is inside that room? Daniel said. I went inside. Officer looked confused. He said. That room has been sealed for 9 years. Daniel felt cold. Officer continued. Previous house sitter disappeared in that room. Daniel could not speak. Police did not find proof of break-in. Owners came back early. They were angry. They said he made story. But Daniel never went back. He never did house sitting again. And even now. When he sleeps. Sometimes at 2 a.m. He hears footsteps. Outside his bedroom door. Slow. Heavy. Waiting. This second story was told by a woman named Isabella Cruz. She was 27 years old when this happened. She lived in a small apartment. She was trying to save money to move to a better city. She found a house-sitting job online. The house was modern. Very clean. Very expensive. The owner was a businessman named Mr. Adrian Keller. He was going on a 10-day business trip. His instructions were simple. Feed his cat named Luna. Water plants. And check security cameras every night. He showed her a small screen in the living room. It showed outside cameras. Front door. Backyard. Garage. Side gate. He said something strange before leaving. If any camera moves by itself, call me immediately. Isabella laughed. She thought he was joking. Cameras do not move by themselves. Right? First 2 days were normal. The house was quiet. Too quiet sometimes. The walls were white. Furniture was simple. The house had big glass windows. At night, the windows felt like black mirrors. When she looked outside, she saw only darkness. On third night, it started raining. Heavy rain. Wind was strong. At 11:30 p.m., Isabella sat on couch. She was watching TV. Luna the cat was sleeping next to her. Suddenly, the power went off. Everything became dark. She felt small fear inside her chest. She turned on flashlight on her phone. After 2 minutes, power came back. TV turned on again. Lights were working. She looked at security monitor screen. All cameras were working. But one thing was strange. The backyard camera was now pointing at the house. Not at the yard. It was facing one of the bedroom windows. She frowned. She was sure camera was facing yard before. Maybe wind moved it. But cameras were fixed. Not loose. She zoomed in. The bedroom window was dark. Nothing there. She felt stupid for being scared. She told herself, it's just storm. She went upstairs to sleep. At 2:16 a.m. She woke up. She did not know why. The room felt cold. Very cold. Like someone opened window. She looked around. Window was closed. Door was closed. She heard a small sound. A click. Like someone pressing remote. Then she heard it again. Click. Click. Coming from downstairs. Her heart started beating fast. She slowly left the bed. Walked to bedroom door. Opened it slowly. The hallway was dark. Only small light coming from stairs. She walked down. Each step made small sound. When she reached living room, she saw security monitor screen. All cameras were changing angles. Slowly. One by one. Front door camera moved left. Backyard camera moved right. Garage camera tilted down. Like someone was controlling them. But no one was there. She checked remote. It was on table. No one touching it. Suddenly all cameras stopped moving. Now all cameras were pointing at the house. At different windows. Watching inside. Watching her. She felt like house was watching her. Not protecting her. Watching her. Her phone started vibrating. Unknown number. She answered. No one spoke. Only breathing. Slow breathing. She whispered, "Hello." Breathing stopped. Call ended. Her hands were shaking. She remembered Mr. Keller's words. If camera moves by itself, call me. She called him. Phone was off. She texted him. No reply. She decided to check outside. Maybe someone is outside controlling cameras. Maybe hacker. Maybe thief. She grabbed kitchen knife. Opened front door slowly. Rain stopped. Street was empty. No cars. No people. She looked at camera above door. It was pointed down. At her. Like it was watching her face. She stepped back inside. Locked door. Closed curtains. Turned off TV. But monitor screen was still on. Showing all cameras. Suddenly one camera zoomed in. Backyard window. Zoomed more. And she saw something. Inside one upstairs room. Someone standing behind curtain. Tall shadow. Not moving. But there was no one in that room. She was only person inside house. Her breath became fast. She ran upstairs. Ran to that room. Opened door fast. Room was empty. No one. Window closed. Curtain still. She felt confused. She looked outside window. Backyard was empty. But then she saw something small. A red light. In bushes. Like small recording device. She ran downstairs. Checked monitor again. Backyard camera now was normal. Facing yard. Like nothing happened. She ran outside with flashlight. Went to bushes. Looked for red light. Nothing there. Just wet leaves. She came back inside. Locked all doors again. At 3 a.m. she sat on couch. Did not sleep. She watched monitor. Then she noticed something that made her blood cold. On the screen. Living room camera. Was showing her. Sitting on couch. But from different angle. Higher angle. Like camera was inside room. But there was no camera in living room. She slowly turned her head. And looked up. Small black camera. In corner of ceiling. She was never told about inside cameras. Her stomach dropped. She checked more. Kitchen had camera. Hallway had camera. Even upstairs hallway. All inside. Watching her. Recording her. She felt angry now. Not only scared. Why did Mr. Keller not tell her? Why secret cameras inside? Her phone buzzed again. Message from unknown number. It said. Don't look at the ceiling. Her heart stopped. She slowly looked at monitor again. Living room camera zoomed closer to her face. Then message came again. Smile. Tears came in her eyes. She grabbed her bag. She wanted to leave. But front door lock suddenly made sound. Click. Like someone unlocking from outside. She froze. Door handle slowly moved. But door did not open. Because she locked from inside. Someone was trying to open. She ran to kitchen. Held knife tight. She heard footsteps outside porch. Slow. Heavy. Then silence. Her phone buzzed again. Message. I can see you. At that moment she understood. The cameras were not protecting house. They were protecting someone else. Maybe someone inside. Maybe secret room. She remembered basement door near kitchen. She never checked basement. She slowly walked toward basement door. Her legs felt weak. She opened basement door. Dark stairs going down. Very dark. She turned on light switch. It did not work. She used phone flashlight. Walked down slowly. Basement was cold. Smell of dust. Then she saw something shocking. A small room. With screens. Showing all camera views. And chair. And table. And half-eaten food. Someone was staying there. Watching her. Her blood ran cold. She heard sound behind her. Footstep. From basement stairs. She turned fast. A man was standing at top of stairs. Tall. Wearing black hoodie. Face not clear. He said softly. You were not supposed to find this. She screamed. Threw knife at him. He moved back. She ran past him. Ran upstairs. Out of front door. Ran into street barefoot. She did not look back. She ran to neighbor house far away. Police came after 20 minutes. They searched whole house. Basement was empty. No screens. No chair. No food. Nothing. No hidden room. Mr. Keller came next day. He said there are no inside cameras. Police checked. No cameras inside house. Only outside cameras. Isabella showed them her phone. But messages were gone. Deleted. Call history empty. Police could not prove anything. But Isabella never went back. She moved city. She still feels someone watches her. Sometimes when she looks at mirror. She feels like someone is standing behind her. But when she turns. There is no one. This third story was told by a man named Daniel Morris. He was 31 years old. He worked as a freelance designer. He liked quiet places. He liked being alone. That is why he accepted a house-sitting job far outside the city. The house was old. Very old. It was 2 hours away from town. Surrounded by trees. No close neighbors. The owner was an old woman named Mrs. Harper. She was going to stay with her sister for 2 weeks. Before leaving, she told Daniel some simple rules. Feed her dog Bruno. Water garden plants. Do not enter the locked room upstairs. She said this last rule very seriously. Please do not try to open that room. It is not safe. Daniel asked why. She only said, just don't. Then she left. First day was peaceful. The house was big but quiet. Wood floors. Old paintings on walls. Long hallway upstairs. At the end of the hallway was the locked room. The door was dark brown. There was a silver lock. Daniel walked past it many times. He felt curious. But he respected the rule. At night, the house made normal old house sounds. Wood cracking. Wind touching windows. Nothing strange. Second day was also normal. He worked on his laptop. Played with Bruno in yard. Cooked dinner. Everything felt fine. On third night, something changed. At 1:12 a.m., Bruno started barking. Loud. Angry. Daniel woke up fast. Bruno never barked like that. Daniel went downstairs. Bruno was standing at bottom of stairs. Looking up. Growling. Daniel looked upstairs. The hallway light was on. He was sure he turned it off before sleeping. He slowly walked upstairs. Each step made noise. Bruno did not follow. He stayed at bottom. Still growling. When Daniel reached top of stairs, he saw something strange. The locked room door was slightly open. Just a little. But he was sure it was closed before. He felt cold air coming from inside. Very cold. Like freezer. He stood there for a long time. His mind was fighting. Don't open. But maybe someone inside. He pushed the door slowly. It made long creaking sound. The room was dark. Very dark. He used phone flashlight. The room was empty. No furniture. No bed. No window. Just empty wooden floor. Walls were plain. Nothing inside. He felt confused. Why lock empty room? He stepped inside. Floor felt colder than rest of house. Like ice. Suddenly he heard door close behind him. Loud slam. He turned fast. Door was shut. He ran to it. Tried handle. Locked. From outside. His heart started beating fast. He knocked. Hello. No answer. He shouted louder. Still no answer. He called Mrs. Harper. Phone was off. He tried pushing door hard. It did not move. The room felt colder now. His breath became visible. Like winter air. He felt something else. Like he was not alone. He slowly turned around. In corner of room. There was a dark shape. Standing. Very still. He pointed flashlight. Nothing there. Empty wall. He closed his eyes. Opened again. Still empty. He told himself, "You are scared. That's all." Then he heard whisper. Very soft. Right behind him. "Don't leave." He froze. The voice sounded like old woman. He turned slowly. No one. But whisper came again. "Stay." His phone flashlight started blinking. Battery was 80%. But light was weak now. The cold became stronger. He started feeling dizzy. Then suddenly the door unlocked. Click. Handle moved. Door opened slowly by itself. Warm air from hallway touched his face. He did not wait. He ran out. Ran downstairs. Bruno was hiding under table. Shaking. Daniel packed his bag immediately. He wanted to leave. But his car keys were upstairs. In his bedroom. He did not want to go back upstairs. But he had no choice. He walked slowly upstairs again. The hallway light was off now. Everything dark. The locked room door was closed again. Like nothing happened. He walked to his bedroom. Grabbed keys. Then he heard something behind him. Slow footsteps. On wooden floor. Walking toward him. He turned. The hallway was empty. But footsteps continued. Slow. Coming closer. Bruno started barking downstairs again. Daniel felt panic rising. He ran downstairs. But halfway downstairs he saw something that made his blood cold. At bottom of stairs. Mrs. Harper was standing there. But she was not smiling. Her face looked pale. Her eyes looked empty. She said in calm voice. "You opened the room." Daniel was confused. "You said you are with your sister." She smiled slowly. "I never left." Her voice sounded strange. Like echo. Bruno was not barking now. He was silent. Standing beside her. Not moving. Daniel slowly stepped back upstairs. Mrs. Harper started walking up slowly. Step by step. But her feet were not touching stairs. She was slightly above them. Floating. Daniel felt tears in his eyes. "This is not real," he whispered. She kept walking closer. "You were not supposed to open it," she said again. Suddenly lights in house started flickering. Upstairs windows slammed shut. Doors closed loudly. The house felt alive. Angry. Daniel ran into his bedroom. Locked door. Pushed bed against it. He could hear footsteps outside room. Slow. Dragging. Then scratching sound on door. Like nails. He called police. But phone had no signal. No service. He tried window. It was stuck. Would not open. Scratching became louder. Then whisper again. Stay. Door started shaking. The bed was moving slowly from door. Something was pushing from outside. He grabbed a chair. Ready to defend himself. Then suddenly everything stopped. Silence. Complete silence. No scratching. No footsteps. Nothing. He waited long time. Maybe 1 hour. Maybe more. Finally he moved bed slowly. Opened door carefully. Hallway was empty. No Mrs. Harper. No sound. He ran downstairs. Front door was open. Cold wind coming inside. But outside. There was snow. Deep snow. Even though it was summer. Snow-covered yard. Trees white. Daniel could not believe. He stepped outside slowly. Snow felt real under his feet. Cold. Then he saw something terrifying. In the snow. Footprints. Going from house into forest. Bare footprints. Old small feet. He heard whisper behind him again. Come back. He turned. House was normal. No snow. Green grass. Warm air. He was standing in dry yard. He looked at his feet. No snow. No cold. Everything normal. His car was there. He quickly got inside. Started engine. Drove away without looking back. Later that day, he called Mrs. Harper. She answered calmly. She said she was still at her sister's house. She said locked room was empty storage. She never goes inside. Daniel told her everything. She was silent for long time. Then she said something that made his skin cold. My mother died in that room 20 years ago. She locked herself inside during winter. She refused to leave. She said the house was calling her. Daniel never returned. He blocked the number. He never took house-sitting job again. Even now, sometimes at night. He hears soft whisper in his apartment. Very soft. Stay. This fourth story was told by a woman named Rachel Turner. She was 24 years old. She was a college student. She needed money for rent. One day her professor told her about a house-sitting job. A couple was going on vacation for 1 week. Their names were Mr. and Mrs. Collins. They lived in a large house in a quiet neighborhood. No children. No pets. Just a very clean and modern home. Rachel met them before they left. They seemed normal. Friendly. Smiling. Mrs. Collins gave her a printed paper with rules. Water plants. Bring in mail. Do not enter the basement. If anyone knocks at night, do not open the door. Rachel asked, why not open the door? Mr. Collins smiled and said, because we are not expecting anyone. It sounded simple. She agreed. They left the next morning. First day was easy. The house was bright. Big windows. White walls. Everything smelled fresh. Rachel felt lucky. She thought this would be a peaceful week. Second day was also normal. She studied. Watched TV. Cooked food. Everything was fine. On third night, something strange happened. At 11:47 p.m., someone knocked on the front door. 3 slow knocks. Knock. 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 Rachel froze. She remembered the rule. Do not open the door at night. She stayed quiet. Maybe it was wrong house. Maybe someone drunk. The knocking stopped. She relaxed. But then it started again. This time louder. Knock. 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 She walked slowly to the door. She did not open it. She looked through the peephole. Her heart almost stopped. It was Mr. Collins. Standing outside. Looking straight at the door. Not moving. She felt confused. He said they would return next week. It was only day 3. She called his phone. The phone inside the house started ringing. On the kitchen counter. He had left it behind. She looked again through peephole. He was still there. Not blinking. Not moving. She slowly asked through the door. Mr. Collins? No answer. Just staring. She stepped back. Her mind was racing. If his phone is inside. Then who is at the door? Suddenly the man outside smiled. Very slowly. Then he whispered something. She could not hear clearly. She moved closer. Pressed ear to door. He whispered again. Open the door, Rachel. Her blood turned cold. She never told him her full name. Only first name. She stepped back quickly. The man outside knocked harder now. Bang. 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 The door shook. She ran upstairs to bedroom. Locked herself inside. She heard banging continue for 5 minutes. Then silence. Complete silence. She waited. After maybe 20 minutes, she went to window upstairs. Looked down at front yard. No one there. Street empty. She did not sleep that night. Next morning she checked security camera app on her phone. The house had cameras outside. She opened last night recording. At 11:47 p.m., she saw herself walking to the door. But no one was outside. No man. No Mr. Collins. Just empty porch. She watched it again. Still empty. But she clearly saw someone through peephole last night. She was sure. That evening, she received a message from Mrs. Collins. Hope everything is okay. Rachel asked, Are you home? Mrs. Collins replied, No, we are still in Hawaii. Rachel felt small relief. Maybe she imagined it. Maybe stress. That night she locked all doors early. At 2:03 a.m., she woke up suddenly. She heard footsteps downstairs. Slow. Heavy. Walking in the living room. She held her breath. Maybe house makes sounds. Old wood. But this house was modern. No old wood. The footsteps stopped. Then she heard something worse. A man's voice. Soft. Talking. Like someone on phone. She slowly opened bedroom door. Looked at stairs. The lights downstairs were on. She was sure she turned them off. She walked down slowly. Each step careful. When she reached the living room, she saw him again. Mr. Collins. Standing near the couch. His back facing her. He was talking softly. But she opened the door. Rachel felt fear explode inside her. She whispered, how did you get in? He stopped talking. Slowly turned around. His face looked wrong. Too pale. Eyes too dark. He smiled again. We live here, he said calmly. Then lights suddenly went off. Everything dark. Rachel screamed. She ran toward kitchen, trying to find exit. But when lights came back, the living room was empty. No one there. She checked front door. Still locked. All windows locked. No sign of break-in. She grabbed her phone. Called Mrs. Collins. No answer. Then she heard something from basement. A loud bang. Like someone hit metal. She remembered the rule. Do not enter the basement. But now she felt someone was already inside. The basement door was near kitchen. She walked slowly toward it. The door was slightly open. Cold air coming from inside. She pushed it gently. The basement light was on. She walked down a few steps. And saw something shocking. There were suitcases. Open. Clothes inside. Men's clothes. And on small table. Mr. Collins' passport. His wallet. And plane tickets. Still there. They never went to Hawaii. They never left. Her hands started shaking. She heard voice behind her. You were not supposed to see that. She turned fast. Mr. Collins was standing at top of basement stairs. Blocking exit. His face had no smile now. Just cold eyes. We needed someone to stay, he said quietly. Someone to practice. Rachel felt sick. Practice what? He did not answer. He just slowly walked down toward her. At that moment, Mrs. Collins appeared behind him. Holding something in her hand. A camera. Recording. Rachel understood. They were not normal. They were pretending. Maybe they wanted to scare her. Maybe worse. She pushed past them suddenly. Ran upstairs. Ran to front door. Unlocked it fast. Ran outside screaming. Neighbors came out of houses. Lights turned on everywhere. Mr. and Mrs. Collins did not follow her outside. They stayed inside. Police came after someone called. They searched the house. But basement was empty. No suitcases. No passport. No plane tickets. Everything clean. Mr. and Mrs. Collins were not there. Police later told Rachel something strange. The house was empty for months. The real Collins couple sold it last year. No one lives there now. Rachel could not believe. She showed police messages on her phone. The messages were gone. No contact saved. No call history. The house was listed for sale. Empty. Rachel never went back. Even today, when someone knocks at her door late at night, she never looks through the peephole. Because she is afraid she will see the same smile again. And this time, maybe the door will already be open. This story was told by a young man named Kevin Brooks. He was 22 years old. He just finished college. He wanted some quick money before starting his new job. He found a house-sitting job through a local ad. The house was in a quiet area. Not too big. Not too small. Just normal. The owner was an older man named Mr. Raymond. He looked tired. Very quiet. Before leaving, he gave Kevin a small notebook. He said, "Read this every night before sleeping." Kevin laughed a little. Why? Mr. Raymond looked serious. Because if you don't, something will change. Kevin did not understand. But he agreed. The rules in the notebook were strange. Rule 1, Lock all doors at exactly 10 p.m. Rule 2, if you hear knocking after 10 p.m., ignore it. Rule 3, do not look under the bed after midnight. Rule 4, if you hear breathing in your room, pretend you are asleep. Rule 5, if the closet door is open, close it and say, "Wrong room." Kevin thought it was a joke. Maybe the old man liked scary games. Mr. Raymond left. Kevin was alone. First night was normal. At 10 p.m. he locked all doors. At 11:30 p.m. he read the notebook again. He laughed at Rule 3. Do not look under the bed. He said to himself, who writes this? He slept peacefully. Nothing happened. Second night was also calm. But at 10:05 p.m., he heard a soft knock. 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 He checked the time. It was after 10 p.m. He remembered Rule 2. Ignore knocking. He stayed on the couch. The knocking stopped. 5 minutes later, his phone buzzed. Unknown number. Message said. Why are you not opening the door? His heart moved fast. He did not reply. Another message came. I can see you. He stood up quickly. Closed curtains. Checked all windows. Nothing outside. He went to bedroom. Locked the door. At 11:58 p.m. he felt something strange. Like someone was inside the room. He heard soft breathing. Slow. Deep. Very close. He remembered Rule 4. Pretend you are asleep. He closed his eyes. Did not move. The breathing became louder. Right next to his bed. He felt weight on mattress. Like someone sat beside him. He wanted to open his eyes. But he forced himself not to. The breathing stayed for maybe 10 minutes. Then slowly stopped. The weight disappeared. Silence returned. He did not sleep after that. Morning came. Everything normal. No one in house. No sign of anything. Third night was worse. At 9:59 p.m. he locked all doors. At exactly 10 p.m., someone knocked. 3 slow knocks. He felt cold. He ignored it. The knocking became louder. Angrier. Then suddenly it stopped. At 12:07 a.m., he woke up. He did not remember falling asleep. The room was dark. But closet door was open. Wide open. He was sure he closed it before sleeping. His heart beat faster. He remembered Rule 5. If closet door is open, close it and say, "Wrong room." He slowly got up. Walked to closet. He felt like something inside was watching him. He did not look inside. He pushed the door closed. And said quietly, "Wrong room." The closet started shaking. Like someone inside hit the door. Bang. 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 Kevin jumped back. The shaking stopped suddenly. Complete silence. He slowly went back to bed. Pulled blanket over his head. Then he heard something that made his body freeze. Soft scratching. Under the bed. He remembered Rule 3. Do not look under the bed after midnight. The scratching became louder. Like nails on wood. Then whisper. Very soft. Kevin. His blood turned cold. He never told Mr. Raymond his full name. Only Kevin. The whisper came again. Look at me. He covered his ears. Closed his eyes tight. The scratching moved closer. Closer to his head. Then he felt cold air on his face. Like someone under bed was blowing slowly. He almost screamed. But he stayed still. He waited. The whisper turned into soft crying. Then slow laughter. Low. Deep. Not human. After what felt like hours, it stopped. Morning came again. He checked under the bed. Nothing. Just dust. No marks. No scratches. He felt confused. Maybe stress. Maybe imagination. Fourth night. He decided he will not read the notebook. He thought maybe reading rules makes his mind scared. So he ignored it. He locked doors late. At 10:23 p.m. At 11 p.m. he went to bed without reading notebook. At 11:45 p.m., he woke up to loud bang. The bedroom door was open. He was sure he closed it. Hallway light was on. He heard heavy footsteps coming toward his room. Slow. Dragging. Then he saw something at the door. A tall dark shape. Standing. Watching. Not moving. He could not see face. Just black shadow. It slowly stepped inside the room. Kevin's body would not move. He felt frozen. The shadow bent down slowly. Its head moved near his bed. Then he heard deep breathing again. But this time it was not pretending. It knew he was awake. It whispered. You forgot the rules. The bed started shaking. The closet door slammed open. The scratching under the bed started again. Loud. Aggressive. Like something trying to come out. Kevin finally screamed. He jumped up and ran out of the room. Ran to front door. Unlocked it. Ran outside barefoot. He did not stop running. He ran to the main road. A car stopped. Driver asked if he was okay. Kevin was shaking. He told everything. Police went to the house next morning. The house was empty. No furniture. No bed. No closet. No notebook. No Mr. Raymond. The house looked abandoned. Neighbors told police no one lived there for years. Kevin could not understand. He showed them house address from the ad. The ad was gone. Deleted. No record. Kevin later searched online. He found old news article. About a man named Raymond Brooks. He killed himself in that house. 10 years ago. After writing strange rules in a notebook. Police found a notebook under his bed. Full of rules. About knocking. About closet. About breathing. Kevin moved to another city. He never does house sitting again. Even now. Sometimes at exactly 10:00 p.m. He hears 3 slow knocks on his apartment door. Knock. 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 And sometimes, when he lies in bed, he feels something move slowly under it. Waiting. For him to forget the rules again. This story was told by a woman named Laura Bennett. She was 29 years old. She worked as a nurse. She wanted extra money. One day her friend told her about a house-sitting job. A family was going on vacation for 12 days. The house was big. 3 floors. Very clean. Very modern. The family had 2 kids and 1 small dog. They told Laura simple rules. Feed the dog. Water the plants. Do not enter the attic. If you hear music at night, ignore it. Laura asked, music? The mother smiled a little. It is an old house. Pipes make strange sounds. Laura agreed. The family left. She was alone. First 2 days were normal. The dog was calm. The house was quiet. Laura felt relaxed. On the 3rd night, at exactly 1 a.m., she heard soft music. Very soft. Like piano. Slow piano. She woke up confused. She checked her phone. No music playing. The sound was coming from upstairs. From the third floor. The attic. She remembered the rule. Do not enter the attic. She stayed in bed. The music stopped after 5 minutes. Morning came. Everything normal. She told herself it was imagination. Fourth night. Again at 1 a.m. The piano music started. This time louder. Slow. Sad. Like someone playing alone. The dog started growling. Looking toward the ceiling. Laura felt scared. She got out of bed. Walked to stairs. Each step felt heavy. The music was coming from above. From the attic. She stood in front of attic door. The music stopped suddenly. Complete silence. She touched the handle. It was cold. Very cold. She slowly opened the attic door. Dark stairs going up. She turned on the light. The bulb flickered. She walked up slowly. The attic was empty. Just old boxes. Old furniture covered with white sheets. No piano. No instruments. Nothing. She walked around. Her footsteps made echo. Then she noticed something strange. There was another door inside the attic. Small white door. She was sure this door was not there before. The family never mentioned it. She walked toward it. Her heart beating fast. She opened it slowly. And what she saw made her freeze. Behind that door. There was a room. A full room. With wallpaper. With a bed. With a small piano in the corner. But this room was not possible. Because the attic was small. There was no space for another room. But it was there. The piano was old. Dusty. But clean around the keys. Like someone was using it. The air inside the room felt heavy. She stepped inside. The door behind her slowly closed. She turned quickly. The white door disappeared. Now it was just a wall. No door. No handle. She ran to the wall. Touched it. Solid. No door. Her breathing became fast. She turned around. The room looked bigger now. The piano keys slowly moved. By themselves. Playing the same slow song. Laura screamed. She covered her ears. But the music became louder. Then she saw something in the mirror. There was a mirror above the piano. In the mirror. She saw a little girl sitting on the bed. Looking at her. But when Laura turned around. The bed was empty. She looked back at the mirror. The little girl was closer now. Standing behind her in the reflection. But when she turned again. No one there. She felt something touch her hand. Cold fingers. She pulled her hand away. The piano stopped suddenly. Silence. The little girl's voice whispered near her ear. Stay and play. Laura ran toward the wall again. Crying. Hitting the wall. Let me out. The lights in the room started blinking. The walls looked like they were moving. Breathing. The bed moved slowly closer to her. The mirror cracked suddenly. And she heard loud bang. Everything went black. When she opened her eyes. She was lying in normal attic. On dusty floor. No extra room. No piano. No small door. Only old boxes and covered furniture. She ran downstairs. Checked the time. It was 1:05 a.m. Only 5 minutes passed. Next morning she called the family. She asked, was there ever a piano in the attic? There was silence on the phone. Then the father said slowly. Our daughter used to play piano. Laura asked, used to? The father said. She died in that attic room. Laura felt cold. There is no attic room, she said. The father did not answer for a long time. Then he said something that made her shake. There used to be. The house was rebuilt after the fire. Laura ended the call. That night she packed her things. She did not stay 12 days. She left early. The family never complained. They never called again. But sometimes at exactly 1:00 a.m. Laura wakes up. And she hears soft piano music. Very slow. Very sad. Coming from somewhere inside her house. And sometimes, when she looks in the mirror, she sees a little girl behind her. Smiling. Waiting. This story was told by a man named Tyler Reed. He was 26 years old. He worked as a delivery driver. He wanted extra money. One day an older couple asked him to house sit for 2 weeks. Their names were Mr. and Mrs. Holloway. They were going to visit their son in another state. The house was normal. Small front yard. 2 floors. Basement. Nothing special. Before leaving, Mrs. Holloway gave Tyler one key. She said, "This is the only key. Keep it safe." Mr. Holloway added something strange. "If you ever find another key inside the house, leave immediately." Tyler laughed. "Another key?" Mr. Holloway did not smile. "Yes. If you see one that is not yours, do not stay." Tyler thought maybe they were joking. He agreed to the job. The couple left. He was alone. First 3 days were peaceful. He watched TV. Cooked food. Everything felt safe. On the 4th morning, something small changed. When Tyler woke up, he saw a key on the kitchen table. Silver key. Different shape. It was not his. He picked it up. Cold metal. Heavy. He checked all doors. Everything locked. Nothing broken. Maybe it was always there. Maybe he did not notice before. He decided not to panic. He put the strange key in the drawer. Told himself it was nothing. That night, at 2:30 a.m., he woke up suddenly. He heard a door closing downstairs. Slow click. He sat up in bed. Listening carefully. Silence. Then he heard soft footsteps. Walking in the living room. He grabbed his phone. No missed calls. No messages. He slowly walked out of his room. The hallway was dark. He walked down the stairs quietly. When he reached the living room, no one there. But the basement door was open. He was sure it was closed before. He felt fear. He walked to the basement door. Looked down. Dark. Very dark. He did not go down. He closed the door slowly. Locked it. Went back upstairs. He did not sleep much. Next morning, he went to the kitchen. The drawer was open. The strange key was gone. His heart started beating fast. He searched the whole kitchen. Nothing. Then he noticed something worse. On the wall near the door, there was a small scratch. Like someone tried to unlock it. From inside. He checked his key. Still in his pocket. So who opened the basement last night? He called Mr. Holloway. No answer. He texted. No reply. He started feeling nervous. That evening, he decided to check every room carefully. He checked closets. Bathrooms. Under beds. Nothing strange. When he entered the guest room, he saw something that made him freeze. On the bed. There was the silver key again. Placed neatly in the center. Like someone wanted him to see it. His hands were shaking now. He did not touch it. He remembered the warning. If you find another key, leave immediately. He packed his bag. But before leaving, he wanted to understand. He picked up the key carefully. He walked to the front door. Tried the key. It did not fit. He tried the back door. It did not fit. Then he looked at basement door. Slowly he walked toward it. He unlocked the basement with his key. Opened it. Dark stairs again. He turned on the light. The light worked this time. He walked down slowly. The basement was bigger than he thought. There were old boxes. Old furniture. And at the far end, there was another door. A heavy metal door. With a small lock. His heart was pounding. He looked at the silver key in his hand. Slowly, he put the key in the metal door lock. It fit perfectly. He felt cold sweat on his neck. He turned the key. Click. The door unlocked. He pushed it open slowly. Inside the room, there was a small space. Like a hidden room. There was a chair. A mattress on the floor. Empty water bottles. Food wrappers. Someone was living there. His stomach felt sick. Then he saw something on the wall. Photos. Printed photos. Of him. Sleeping on the couch. Watching TV. Cooking in the kitchen. Photos taken inside the house. Recently. His breathing became heavy. He heard something behind him. A slow breath. Right at the basement stairs. He turned slowly. At the top of the stairs. A man was standing. Tall. Thin. Holding something shiny in his hand. The man spoke softly. You were not supposed to find that. Tyler stepped back. Who are you? The man smiled slightly. I have the first key. Tyler's blood ran cold. The man slowly lifted his hand. He was holding another key. Same shape. Same silver color. You are using the copy, the man said. I am using the original. Tyler understood. The older couple knew. They knew someone was inside. That is why they warned him. The man started walking down the stairs slowly. Step by step. Tyler looked around quickly. There was a small window behind him. Very small. But maybe big enough. The man was closer now. You should have left when you saw the key, he whispered. Tyler suddenly threw the silver key at the man's face. The man stepped back for 1 second. That was enough. Tyler ran toward the small window. He pushed it hard. It opened slightly. He forced his body through. Glass cut his arm. But he did not stop. He fell outside into the backyard. He ran without looking back. He did not stop until he reached the street. He called police immediately. Police came fast. They searched the house. The hidden room was there. But it was empty. No photos. No mattress. Nothing. Just a metal door. Locked. Police asked Mr. and Mrs. Holloway to return. When they came back, they looked nervous. Finally Mr. Holloway told the truth. Years ago, a man broke into their house. He was homeless. He hid in the basement. They never found him. Even after police searched. Sometimes things moved in the house. Food disappeared. Doors opened. They thought he was gone. But they were never sure. That is why they warned Tyler. But they were too afraid to say the full truth. Tyler never went back. Even now, he checks his apartment door every night. And sometimes, when he puts his key in the lock, he feels like someone on the other side is turning another key at the same time. Slowly. Matching his movement. Waiting. This final story was told by a woman named Hannah Cole. She was 30 years old. She worked online from home. She liked quiet places. She accepted a 10-day house-sitting job in a small town. The house was beautiful. Large windows. Wood floors. Very peaceful area. The owner was a middle-aged man named Mr. Lawson. He looked polite. Very calm. Before leaving, he gave Hannah simple instructions. Feed the fish. Water plants. Sleep only in the master bedroom. And never stay past the 10th night. Hannah smiled. Why not stay after the 10th night? Mr. Lawson looked serious. Because after that, it will not be my house anymore. She thought he was joking. He did not smile. Then he left. First 5 days were normal. Quiet. Calm. Peaceful. Hannah enjoyed the silence. She worked on her laptop. Watched movies. Nothing strange happened. On the 6th night, she woke up at 3 a.m. She heard something small. Like someone walking in the hallway. Soft steps. Very slow. She opened her bedroom door. The hallway was empty. But at the end of the hallway, she saw the bathroom light was on. She was sure she turned it off before sleeping. She walked slowly to the bathroom. She looked inside. The sink was wet. Like someone just washed hands. The mirror had writing on it. With water. 3 words. Stay one more. Her heart beat fast. She touched the mirror. The water words disappeared. Maybe she wrote it by accident. Maybe sleepwalking. She felt confused. She went back to bed. On the 7th night, the house felt different. Heavier. Like the air was thick. At 2:17 a.m., she heard knocking. Not at the door. Inside the walls. Knock. 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 Slow and deep. Like someone trapped inside. She walked to the living room. The sound followed her. From inside the walls. She placed her ear to the wall. She heard breathing. Very close. Then a whisper. 10 nights. She stepped back quickly. The knocking stopped. She checked her phone. No signal. No internet. Everything dead. She felt alone. Very alone. Morning came again. Everything normal. Signal returned. Internet worked. No sign of damage. She told herself it was stress. On the 9th night, she started packing. 1 more night left. She felt excited to leave. But also nervous. The house felt like it was watching her. At exactly 11:59 p.m., all lights turned off. Complete darkness. She grabbed her phone. Flashlight on. Then she heard something in the master bedroom. Like someone sitting on the bed. She slowly walked inside. The bed was pressed down. Like someone was sitting there. But no one visible. The mattress slowly lifted. Then pressed down again. She whispered, "Hello." No answer. Then she heard a voice. Very soft. Right next to her ear. "You should stay." She ran out of the room. Slept on the couch with lights on. The 10th night arrived. The final night. She counted hours. At 9:50 p.m. she locked all doors. At 10 p.m. she sat quietly. Waiting. Nothing happened. At 11 p.m. still nothing. She felt relief. Maybe it was all in her mind. At 11:58 p.m. she decided to sleep. 2 minutes before midnight. Then the house started shaking. Not like earthquake, but like deep vibration. The walls were making low humming sound. The clock stopped at 11:59 p.m. It did not reach 12. Time felt frozen. The air became very cold. Her breath became visible. Then she heard front door unlock. Slow click. But she locked it. She walked slowly toward the hallway. The hallway looked longer. Much longer than before. Like it stretched. At the end of the hallway, she saw someone standing. A man. Tall. Dark shape. She thought it was Mr. Lawson. He spoke slowly. You stayed 10 nights. His voice was not normal. It sounded layered. Like two voices speaking together. She said, yes. I leave tomorrow. He tilted his head slowly. There is no tomorrow. The walls started changing color. The windows looked black. Like empty space outside. No street. No sky. Just darkness. She ran to the front door. Opened it. Outside was not her town. It was the same house. Repeated. Again and again. Like copies of the same house. Endless. She turned around. The hallway was gone. Now just one long empty room. With only one door. The master bedroom door. It slowly opened by itself. Inside the room. She saw herself sleeping on the bed. Peaceful. Like nothing happened. The dark man stood next to the bed. Watching the sleeping Hannah. He looked at her. You are the next owner. Her mind felt like breaking. She understood something terrible. The house changes owners every 10 nights. If you stay 10 nights, you do not leave. You become part of it. She ran toward the sleeping version of herself. Shaking her. Wake up. But the sleeping Hannah did not move. The dark man slowly walked closer. You should have left early. The clock suddenly ticked. Midnight. 12 a.m. Everything went black. Hannah woke up. In the master bedroom. Morning light coming through windows. She sat up fast. Everything looked normal. The clock showed 8 a.m. She checked her phone. Date was correct. Day 11. Her heart dropped. She ran to the front door. Tried to open it. It would not move. Locked from outside. She checked windows. They would not open. She tried calling someone. No signal. She went to the bathroom. Looked at the mirror. There were new words written in water. Welcome home. She started crying. She ran through the house. Every door locked. Every window sealed. Then she heard knock at the front door. 3 slow knocks. She ran to look through peephole. Outside stood a young man. With a suitcase. Looking nervous. He knocked again. Then she heard a familiar voice behind her. Mr. Lawson's voice. But he was not there. New house sitter, the voice whispered. She realized something horrible. She never left. She became part of the house. Now someone else will stay 10 nights. And replace her. The knock came again. The young man outside looked confused. Hannah tried to scream. Tried to warn him. But no sound came out of her mouth. The front door slowly unlocked by itself. The young man smiled nervously and stepped inside. The door closed. The clock on the wall reset. Day 1. And somewhere inside the walls, Hannah's voice now whispers softly at night. Leave before the 10th night. But no one ever listens. And that was the end of these 8 true creepy stories from people who house sat alone at night. Sometimes we think staying alone in a house is easy. We think nothing will happen. But as you heard in these stories, strange things can happen when no one else is around. Small sounds. Moving shadows. Doors opening. Footsteps in empty halls. Maybe it was just fear. Maybe it was imagination. Or maybe, someone was really there. If you ever stay alone in a big house, remember one thing, not every house is truly empty. If you enjoyed this video and want more true creepy stories, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It really helps a lot. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new scary story. See you in the next creepy video, and stay safe at night.